Hello everyone, my name is Lucia Miles and this is my Assessment 3 presentation on my pathway to success as a founder. In this presentation, I will be reflecting on my current capabilities against the traits, skills and characteristics required in founding a startup. I have constructed a plan in order to improve in areas that I might be lacking to reach the outcome of being the best possible founder that I can be. I hope you enjoy the presentation, and without further ado, let's get into it. The reflective model that I have chosen to implement in this presentation is the Gibbs reflective model. This model includes description of your area of weakness, your feelings about it, evaluation of the situation, analysing it, concluding it, and then forming an action plan. This model is so effective as it allows you to better your performance as it's happening as well as for the future. So in this unit, I have learnt a lot about myself and the entrepreneurial qualities that I have, and I've come to the conclusion that I might be quite well suited to founding a startup. So I believe that I have many entrepreneurial qualities, but my dominant one would probably be openness, which includes active imagination and challenging already existing ideas. I also believe that I often use intuition in everyday life, or if it's in an academic environment or a work environment, I tend to always favour my intuition in situations. I've also been told my whole life that I am very creative and ambitious. I'm always thinking up new business ideas and inventions and have impulsive tendencies. I always just want to jump right into things and start things straight away, and I get very excited about them. I have always loved math and have always felt comfortable with finances and mathematics. And I think that's obviously important in a business because that is the crux of a business, money. I also think that I am very personable. I'm very much a people's person, and I think that's also important in a business when, finding stakeholders and interacting with employees and co-workers, and all throughout my life I've always willingly stepped into this leader's role, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing. I've always liked to be in control of situations, and I think when founding a startup that is quite relevant and important. Although I do hold many of the entrepreneurial traits, skills and characteristics, to reach my full founder potential and the best possible outcome, I will need to work on quite a few things. As I was talking about in the previous video, impulsiveness can be a good thing, but it can also be a weakness, as sometimes things aren't necessarily thought through properly. I think that I also, along with being impulsive, have a lack of strategy and organisation, and I make decisions based off the outcome instead of the process to get to that outcome. I also struggle with motivation and struggle coping with rejection and failure. I also feel as if I would struggle with rejecting someone in business or telling someone that they are failing. So those are definitely some things I would need to work on to successfully start up a business. This module has made me feel that if I wanted to commit to founding a startup, I probably could. The entrepreneurial traits, skills, and characteristics that I have learnt about myself in this module has allowed me to feel this way. I think that starting a business definitely comes with its pros and cons, but for me, the pros definitely override the cons. We have learnt throughout this module that it is very difficult and there are lots of things to consider when starting a business. But for my personal journey and what I want to achieve in my life, I think successfully starting a business would be very satisfying for me. I also feel as if, hypothetically speaking, I have successfully started up a business. It is so important to reflect on your practices within that business, your foundations, and your personal growth as an entrepreneur. As when you own a business, you forever want to be improving and growing and expanding in any areas that you can to reach your full potential in the business. Through the evaluation and analysation of this module, the Founder's Journey, I have been exposed to so many new entrepreneurial qualities that I hold that I wasn't aware of before. When we were asked to complete assessments, one self-awareness tests, so the cognitive style test, the heart, smart, guts test, I was so certain that my results would come back one way, but they ended up coming back the opposite to what I thought they would. I think this just emphasizes that you don't know what you need to work on until you acknowledge and recognize what you have and what traits, skills, characteristics you actually hold. I think the main lesson I have taken from this module is that money truly is not everything. I was definitely under the impression before commencing this module that your only motive for starting a business was to make money and get rich, but I have learnt that you definitely need plenty more motives than that. You need to have passion behind the project, or you need to have an alternative motive to money. So quickly touching on the soft and hard skills of an entrepreneur. So leadership skills, law, strategy, finance, and stakeholder management. I think my areas of strengths in this list are leadership skills. As I've previously mentioned, I'm very confident being a leader, and when required, I will step into control. Also very confident with numbers, and I think both of these skills very much benefit founding a startup. I think my areas of weakness would be law. I need to deepen my knowledge on. Strategy, I need to become more organised. And stakeholder management, I feel as if I would potentially favour how much I related to the person instead of potentially how much they were suited to the role. So those are what I would need to improve and work on. In conclusion, through the completion of this module, I have discovered so many new traits, skills, and characteristics about myself, and I know what I need to work on if I were to start a business. I think that it is so important to have these traits, skills, and characteristics, but I think essentially it comes down to hard work and determination. It was so interesting to watch the presentations for assessment 2 and listen to all the different journeys of all the most successful founders in the world. But all their stories had the common denominator of hard work and determination and drive. So I think I hold that drive and that determination, and I think that's why I would make a good founder. So now for the pivotal part of the presentation, I will be informing you of my self-development plan to try eliminate the current weaknesses that I have, as these qualities are very important when founding a business. I'll quickly reiterate what they are. So, strategy, motivation, risk-taking, tolerance for failure and rejection, and dealing with confrontation and stress in a business. So my plan for strategy is obviously being more organized and not jumping to conclusions, creating a structured plan to get to the outcome. Motivation really is just remembering your passion and your motive behind what you're doing and using that to keep going. Risk taking is calculating the risks, and if that's not available, using your intuition and learning to trust that and be okay with that. Tolerance for failure. I think the only way you can really build your tolerance for failure is accepting that it's not necessarily a bad thing and using it to learn and grow and improve things in the future. I also think this goes for handling employees or co-workers in this situation, because I struggle with confronting people and rejecting people. So same goes. You just need to accept that it's not necessarily a bad thing and being confident enough to inform people of that. I think dealing with stress is also very important, but that also comes with organization and setting deadlines and goals and working towards that as efficiently as you can to reduce as much stress as you can. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and I am so glad that we have all commenced this module. I have very much enjoyed myself and learnt so much from it. Thank you.